I don't know that we nailed it down yet. Jolt was like along the lines of Josta. That was when they were like, oh, we're just going to make this all sugar and then caffeine to make your hair vibrate. But no, Surge, and I might be completely misremembering all of this. It might be a Mandela effect. A lot of people said Vault, but I think Vault showed up after Surge had already gone away. But I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? But I was thinking that there was something that was along the lines of Surge at that time that was like a citrusy soda. Todd is out there near Lorain and Ashland County border. He got video, 2 tornadoes out there in New London. I heard from a handful of people out there in New London who said that they got some stuff out there. Your Cleveland Guardians over the Reds last night. They're winding down the regular season in pretty good shape. 6-1 was the final last night here at Progressive Field. The second of 2, 6:40 tonight. Then the last 3 games of the regular season will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday here at home against the Houston Astros. And then they will be, they're playing next Saturday, I think is their first postseason game. I saw something to that effect, some kind of email that was giving us the details on what that's going to be. Game 1, Saturday, October 5 at Progressive Field. Division series will start here in Cleveland. Games 1 and 2 at Progressive Field. Now people go, oh, who are they going to be playing? And everybody goes, well, we don't know who they're going to be playing yet. That's not true. We do know who they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing the Chicago White Sox.
No.
I'm sorry?
Nobody's playing the Chicago White Sox.
You know, my White Sox, they can't make anyone happy because they won last night. All right? It doesn't matter because it's not the time none of it has any bearing on anything, right? At this point, you're just rubbing salt into the wounds if you're going to win games. They did beat the Red Sox a couple weeks back. I think they took 2 of 3 against the Oakland A's, but even the Oakland A's don't care anymore, right? A friend of mine who's doing a show at my old station in Chicago is trying to do this bit where he buys a listener. Every day morning gets a listener, and he buys them a ticket to the Sox game that night so they can be there to witness history. Not the kind of history that you want, but to witness
history, man.
Where they lose the most games, whatever. Well, last night they won. So the random dude that he bought the ticket for was not able to witness history. So he's doing it again tonight. But at this point, who cares if they are winning games? It's immaterial at this point. But the Guardians will start their postseason run a week from this Saturday, October the 5th. You have a few days remaining, by the way. People who have asked me what the promo code is over there at CLE Clothing Company. You got about 5 days left to use the promo code Guardian for 20% off. And then, of course, October will bring a new one.
Spooky.
I was going to get spooky.
Ghost.
Not spooky.
Not spooky? Is it Halloween themed?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're kind of being punny with it, but yeah.
Oh.
They're gonna have to take either iteration of this, I think, if people are going in there and...
Boo.
Base boo.
It's not boo. Base boo. No.
It is.
Rocktober.
It's not Rocktober.
So it's Halloween.
That's good, though. I think it's Halloween themed, yes.
Trick or treat.
Not trick or treat. That's 3 words, Mary.
I don't know.
The promo code is historically
Candy.
1 word. It's not candy.
Pumpkin.
I don't know that you'll get it. It's not pumpkin either. What's the name of our lake?
Erie.
Yeah. Oh, they're spelling it E-R-I-E like the lake. So I imagine that it probably doesn't matter what, if you go in there and tell them in one of the stores. But obviously, if you're going to put it in at the website, you're going to want to spell it E-R-I-E, whereas the adjective Erie has 2 E's on the front, like the town in Indiana. But all October long, you'll be able to get 20% off at CLE Clothing Company with the promo code ERIE for Halloween. That one's not bad. And again, you can use it in their stores. You can use it online if you want to do it that way. I always like when people text me their guesses. No, bitch is not the promo code for the month of October. Unless they're calling me that. I thought maybe because people start sending in their guesses. But maybe they're just venting randomly. Okay. Listen. History. Speaking of history, White Sox are making a terrible, terrible history. History is a difficult thing to manipulate. As much as people like to do it, what do they say? History is written by the winners. None of us really know what happened chapter and verse throughout history. We kind of understand the broad strokes. It can really, really depress you. I always think of people who get degrees in history. You think a degree in fine arts is useless. I mean, obviously, if you get a degree in history, it's something that you're probably planning on teaching. But history, as we know it, it's kind of a collective agreement and something that we've all learned. But we don't really know. Yes, I'm not, so I didn't know who that was. I had to do a little bit of a dig on her. But Running Magazine was the first, give you an indication of where this is going here. Running Magazine broke the story wide open that Camille Herron, who is one of this country's most acclaimed runners, she's an ultra marathoner. She's no scrub. She's the female Dean Karnazes. She's highly regarded in her field, but now she finds herself at the center of a controversy. She is being accused. This is a woman with a dozen world records in what she does. Ultra running. You know, for the uninitiated, ultra running is when you can run really far. Ultra far. That's where they get that portmanteau. Ultra far running, which I think is probably like longer than probably a mile.
Maybe 2 or 3.
Longer than 2 or 3 miles. This woman has a dozen world records. She's being accused of something really petty, of editing the Wikipedia pages of her competitors to remove their accomplishments. Now, I don't know why you would do this, because the only people who would give a fat frog's ass about any runner's Wikipedia page would be other runners. They traced, it used to be you could go on Wikipedia and do whatever you wanted to do. Back in the day, I remember 20 years ago or whenever it was, there were people who thought I was a gay man because somebody had put that in my Wikipedia page. And that was when I found out that I had a Wikipedia page. I go, well, I'm not gay. And they go, well, Wikipedia says you are. And I said, well, I can assure you I'm not. I'd be loud and proud about it if I were. But back in the day, and they kind of created some guardrails over the years where they make it a little bit more difficult to do that. But it is still a site that is publicly edited. It's not like it's real hard. You don't have to, crack the firewall to dick around on Wikipedia. And so this woman is being accused because they traced it back to her email and IP address of going on other ultra runners' Wikipedia pages and removing some of their accomplishments while adding embellishments to her own page. So here is somebody, and this just goes to show you how insecure and petty people can be, even at the top of their game. How accomplished do you have to be before you'll stop worrying that other people have done things? You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there going, this bitch. Yeah, I got 12 world records, but this girl, she did the Boston Marathon in record time. And so they said they're accusing this woman of using a number of different accounts to edit other people's Wikipedia pages.
Okay, but other than she's not committing a crime, other than being petty, what are they revealing?
Well, but it's super petty. I mean, if you're a highly acclaimed person in your field, and then people who are you might consider them competitors, but people who are essentially like your other colleagues, and they find out you were going on their Wikipedia page, it'd be like if you were going on other comedians' Wikipedia pages and writing it so they looked terrible And then
I mean, yeah, it's weird.
it's super weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, how much free time do you have to do this? One of her profiles had been banned, and so she just made another one. And so, boy, I'll tell you what, you might walk right past it at the grocery store magazine aisle. You know, you're standing there in the checkout line, kind of gazing off into space. But Running Magazine has really blown this wide open. They are at the forefront of this.
But it's not like she's going to stop. If she has the patience and determination to run 100 miles, she's going to continue to make burner accounts.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this isn't going to change anything.
How accomplished do you have to be before you can...
I think when you're motivated by that, there's no, her motivation is not to be the best ultra marathon runner. She wants to one-up all these other people. So she's got... Because somebody's eventually going to break her record, and so she's just got something wrong with her where she's got to do the petty stuff. It's kind of weird. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like when people are like proud of being petty. It's one of the weirdest things to me. It just seems like you can't enjoy anything that you have going on in your life.
Well, but imagine that you are, think of the major stories that have been broken throughout history. You know, Woodward and Bernstein, the Watergate, the Boston Globe, and the Spotlight investigation on the Catholic Church and the molestation of, they made a movie out of that with Michael Keaton. And I think about all that. And then you can just envision the staff of Running Magazine, because even there's more than one magazine devoted to running. Running Magazine breaks this wide open. And this is not a stop the presses situation. I guarantee these people are all working from their homes on this. And again, on the spectrum of scandals, Wikipedia controversy is certainly not one that's going to end your career. Nobody was also physically accosted.
Your career is ultra marathon running, so it's not. Is this the only thing she does?
Sounds
I feel
like
this is one of those things that, is very niche, but you still have to have a day job.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if you get enough, there are a lot of companies that are
like sponsorship.
A lot of outdoor companies. Yeah, you get a Merrill sponsorship, and you get some Camelback money, and there's all kinds of outdoor organizations that are brands and things. Her coach and husband is the other guy that is embroiled in this. And frankly, anytime I get to use the word embroiled, it's a good day. That's a great word. So yeah, she's going on and messing with other people's Wikipedia pages.
That's crazy.
I did that. Okay, I'll come clean. I did it one time. One time I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly didn't do it to be petty. I did it because I was like, this guy. I went on Bill Squire's Wikipedia page, and I said that he was a world-class stinker.
Joke's on you. I ain't got a Wikipedia page.
Oh, my God. Then who did I call a world-class stinker?
Probably Billy Squire.
Oh, no. Oh, the stroke guy?
Yeah.
Well, I've never met him. Oh, Billy Squire, I'm so sorry. Oh, I need to go back and see if that's still there. Because I don't know him at all. He might be a world-class stinker. But just be careful, if you're out there. It doesn't matter how arcane or esoteric your area of expertise might be. There's somebody out there who's got it in for you. Somewhere right now, there's a comedian who's messing with Mary's bio right now.
I don't think
they're
going
to get right.
Page.
Well, just your bio. You got bios places. Somebody could hack you. Somebody who's threatened by you, and they could hack you. There could be someone in one of your audiences who's an up-and-coming comedian.
If they want to write my bio, that's fine. I hate writing bios. It's the worst.
I'm mentioned on your Wikipedia page. That's the only thing that I have.
On Bill's?
Yours, Alan.
On mine?
I don't have one.
Oh. I'd have to bring mine up. I didn't. All right. Well, can I call you a stinker?
You can do whatever
Can
you
I
want.
put in... I'll have to find it. Hey, Steve.
Hey there, Alan. I say embroiled when I order a chicken sandwich.
I hear you, Steve. I hear you. You
But
don't.
I like to talk about the presidential race for a second.
There's a
been
pivot.
It's been kept kind of quiet that his vice president candidate J.D. Vance called Trump America's Hitler, a con man, and as a matter of fact, everybody should know. I think a lot of people don't know that Trump is a felon with 34 counts of felonies against him. In other words, he's a convicted criminal, and he pardons other convicted criminals who are political friends of his. When the list is very long.
Yeah, but Steve, you're saying people don't know that?
Well, there's a lot of people who don't listen to the news and who keep themselves, busy with other things, and they're ignorant of the facts. FAC.
Right. Yeah, but they also, but there are people who do know that and don't care, Steve.
Well, if you're saying that's the case, that's sad for America's conscience that they're so depraved themselves, and so their criminal minds, I guess, mesh with his criminal mind. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know that I would go to the level of calling citizens criminals because they think a little bit differently. But
well, if a guy's a convicted criminal and he's possibility of going to jail, and he likes his to take care of his criminal friends, and if you're for him and you like him, then you like criminals and you think like a criminal. That's psychology, isn't it?
well, but you know what that comes down to, Steve, is if people think that they are irretrievably correct about something, and they think that a guy did something that, sure, a criminal by the American justice system.
Association.
But in their mind, they go, well, sometimes you got to do whatever it is you got to do so the other guy doesn't. You know, Steve, that people have a boundless capacity for rationality.
It's the same old phrase, birds of a feather flock together. And if you're so stubborn that you don't see the light of day, then there's a word for that, and it's called jackass.
There is a word for that, isn't there? If you're so stubborn that you can't see the light of day, you are a jackass, says Steve. Is that what? I don't want to paraphrase you improperly, Steve.
Well, so all the listeners who are for Mr. Criminal, immoral, wife switching, and all the rest of this garbage that's associated with his name, if you can't see the light of day, then as the old election phrase was, if you don't believe in the right person taking care of this country, then you should leave this country.
There's got to be a way that's been paraphrased in the past.
Yeah,
Listen, thank you, Steve.
been said a lot.
I appreciate it. Thank you. There's Steve in Akron who's got some thoughts. What?
America first. What the hell, man? Dude, America first. To all of you, let me explain one damn thing. America. Dude, you understand? America.
I like to get a little pamphlet, like a little Tom Paine kind of deal, from Steve out there in Akron that's got all those little pithy sayings, and, that'd be fun. If you're so stubborn that you can't see the light of day, there's a word for that, and that word is jackass. All right, good. I like it. I got to take a break here. You want to send a text 35192. Want to go see Sepultura? They are finally calling it quits, and they are going on their North American farewell tour. And you can see them here in Cleveland on October the 8th. Not far off, they'll be at the world-famous Agora, and I will